In the late Soviet era, scientists began experimenting with something that sounds more like science fiction than physics. They were called Kozyref Mirrors, large curved chambers made of polished aluminum, designed to focus something unusual. Not light, not sound, but time itself. The idea traces back to the Soviet astrophysicist Nikolai Kozyref. In the mid-20th century, Kozyref proposed a controversial theory. He believed that time wasn't just a dimension we moved through. He thought time might actually behave like a physical force, something that could influence matter and energy. And if time behaved like a force, then maybe it could also be reflected or concentrated. That inspired researchers decades later to build experimental structures meant to interact with what they called information fields connected to consciousness. These became known as Kozyref mirrors. The device themselves were fairly simple in construction. Large sheets of polished aluminum were bent into a spiral or cylindrical shapes, forming a reflective enclosure. A person would sit inside the chamber, surrounded by curved metal surfaces, designed to reflect energy, signals, or possibly even what Kozyref believed was the flow of time. Most of these experiments reportedly took place in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Researchers ran a variety of tests. Some involved isolation. A subject would sit quietly inside the mirror chamber for extended periods. Other experiments attempted telepathy tests, where one person inside the mirror would attempt to receive images or thoughts from someone far away. Participants reported some strange experiences. Many described distortions in their sense of time, intense mental imagery, flashes of light, and the feeling of someone or something else was present in the room. Some claimed they saw symbolic visions or distant locations. In more dramatic retellings, people reported seeing figures or entities appearing in the reflective surfaces. However, those claims mostly come from later paranormal interpretations rather than formal scientific reports. Still, the strange effects reported in the chambers fueled speculation. Some paranormal researchers believe the mirrors might function similarly to scrying mirrors or psychomantium chambers, tools historically used to induce altered states and visions during spirit communication. Others think the experience was simply the result of sensory deprivation and suggestion, where the brain begins to generate imagery when placed in a reflective, isolated environment. Today, Kozyref mirrors remain a curious piece of Cold War-era fringe science, a strange experiment that sits somewhere between physics, psychology, and the paranormal.